Wednesday, the 6th of March 2024. So, we are living the memories that we will reminisce about way into the future. So, this is an interesting thought I had very recently, where I just realised that the actions and things we do right here, right now, we will think about and reminisce about the good old days 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years from now. So therefore, it's worthwhile making the time now, while you're living it, the moment, that moment, make it amazing, make it worthwhile, make it fun, make it memorable, make it something worthwhile reminiscing about into the future, way into the future. Just how I think about the things I have done over the past 12 or so months. I'm thinking, damn, I'm happy I did that. I'm glad I did that. I'm proud of myself I did that. Remember it fondly, even though it was far away or difficult or whatever else. Remember it fondly. So therefore, follow logic, raise the stakes, and imagine 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years from now, we will be looking back at today and the things we do and reminiscing. Because I was thinking recently about a certain trade, and at what point do you sell? Do you execute the sell order and go from this asset to that asset? And it has to be a damn worthwhile thing. It has to be really worthwhile. It has to you have to have a damn good justification to make this certain trade. So then I was thinking, right, well, if it's as high quality as much as possible, then what we are doing, we have to make it as high possible and as valuable as possible to justify doing this action. Therefore, if it's going to be high quality and highly justified, we need to think about what the long-term consequences of the action are, and to what extent in the future we will have regret or no regret by doing or not doing this thing. Strategical. Opportunity cost of capital. Fair enough. Opportunity cost. So then I realised that the actions we're doing today, the things now, we will remember in the future. Because you see, there's a great quote from the book, Richest Man in Babylon. Somewhere in the book, can't remember where, it mentions an interesting quote that old tongues like to waggle, meaning people like to talk, or in the context of the book, old people like to ramble. Okay, fair enough. So I've seen it a few times, and people older age rambling and talking and reminiscing. So they're talking about the good old days. They're talking about the good old days. Careful to have something high quality, high valuable, very valuable. So that means then that we have to make the best of the time we have available right now. Makes sense. Because we want to make those stories in the future worthwhile. The events we do right now, right here today, high quality. Makes sense. For the future. For your own sake, way into the future. Very fair. Makes a lot of sense. So then it goes back to that question that I've mentioned before in the past. What have you done today to make yourself proud? I did a video about this in the past. I think it's a good question worth asking. I was travelling recently, and I'm very, very happy I did that. Wasn't too much, wasn't too quick, a bit easy, not too far. I'm happy I did it. A month ago I was travelling as well. I'm happy I did it. These memories, these places, the events, priceless experience. But also, if it's high quality we're looking for, we have to identify in our own lives what is high quality, what is value to us, because it's subjective. So then it's like, I realised through my accountant, actually, of all people, that you work all this time, you work all this on these projects, you make all this money, very nice. So that's work, okay. But then what are we doing to enjoy the fruits of our labour? What are we doing now into the short, medium or long term to enjoy, our work? Because there's nothing wrong with working 24/7, by all means. Nothing wrong with working, by all means. But it's worth asking yourself, what am I working for? Working for this, working for that, this, that, this. What's the fruits of our labour? How are we enjoying our wealth, so to speak? So then it's worthwhile making life as much fun as possible in the short term, or medium term, or long term. I got plans in the next few weeks, which are sorted and organized and just basically waiting and training and exercising and preparing. And that's now for the medium term. But once it's done, it's the immediate short term. Once I'm doing it, it's the short term. What am I doing tomorrow morning? What am I doing now? Where am I going to go in the next hour or 2 or 3? It's all planned out. Now, of course, we all have different objectives and different things and different ways of enjoying our life. Subjective, by all means. But what are we doing in the short term, like tomorrow, that we will reminisce about way into the future? Because tomorrow will come and go, tomorrow. But in the future, 20, 30, 50 years from now, we'll be looking back at this and thinking, that was nice. That was a good time, that was. So how are we enjoying life? What are we doing now to make ourselves proud? How long-term thinking? How far into the future are we thinking? How much of a long-term thinker are we? Things like that. And we want to have experiences. We want to do stuff and have amazing times. I don't see why not. Not all the time, because we've got to have a balance between work and joy and pleasure and adventure, whatever else. But it seems also worth asking, what cool, nice, fun things are we doing or can we have now that we'll remember in the future? Short, medium or long term, these goals and these plans. Yeah. So that was an interesting thought. We are living the moment now, because there's always like an eternal now when you think about it. Time just always flows, can't stop it. So we're always living in the present, living in the moment, which I think too much of living in the present is too short-term thinking. We're living vicariously, just living day by day. We're just fumbling through life without any long-term vision, any clarity, no specific goal you want to have or thing you want to have or build or achieve 3, 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 years from now. The more clear that goal is, the better. And of course, I think that makes sense. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said it. So the further we can think into the future, the more we have a joyful life, just the better. It helps with confidence and self-esteem and character building, traveling and doing these things and learning and building and creating and achieving, very important, achieving stuff. So, yeah. We are living the life right now, in the present moment, that we will reminisce about in the future. Because also remember, we don't remember every single moment in our lives. The vast majority of our lives are forgotten, just deleted from memory. But it's those key events here and there that some would say make it worth living. No, that's too nihilistic. The principles sound, but it's too nihilistic. But it's those key moments that are beautiful in our lives. Yeah, I remember this, I remember that. Oh, the good old days here or there, doing this, going there. Great times. Yeah. So then I say, make the life as high quality as possible. Do those cool, amazing things. In general, helps with confidence and character, and it's something to talk and something to brag about. And then in the future, you've got more happy memories when you're rambling and talking and reminiscing. Yeah. Let's give the future Adrian something to reminisce about. Makes sense. Very fair. Yeah. But otherwise, you will see me tomorrow.